So we are here in a mini episode of Vibe Querying for Jaclyn to show us how she has Claude map out the tables of any given source. And the idea behind this is that we're asking Claude to do some of the work ahead of time and feed that back as a prompt or instructions to make your vibe querying efforts faster and more effective. So Jaclyn, you want to show us how it's done?
Yes. So as I continue to find myself coming back to Claude over and over again, I realized Claude spent quite a bit of time just trying to map out the tables within our Salesforce environment and how they relate to each other. So I decided to create table maps with the relational key. So like from table A to B, what's the one key that's in both, in order to map them together. And actually create a Confluence document for myself and my other fellow product managers to use these kind of maps as part of their prompt to kind of turn their vibe querying into more purposeful prompting that helps them get to an answer more quickly. So right now we're just going to do a very just casual use case. So Marie, in marketing, when using in Salesforce, what is like a group that you may, or what is like some data you may want to elevate for review? Is it, just give me anything you got and we can actually work through the whole process.
Yeah, so we are always paying attention to competitors and how they show up in our deals. So that's definitely one repetitive data set that would be great to have something set for. So it would be, the intersection of opportunities, accounts, and the competitor field, which in our case lives on the opportunity.
Jaclyn does a much better job of listening and typing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Time. It's very fast.
Yeah.
So perfect. So I've got kind of like your use case in the front because I'm going to go like a little bit, again, more like purposeful prompting. This is what we're doing today. This is the team. This is who we are. So now I'm going to give Claude its instructions. I need Claude to find and write out each of these tables we might need for this evaluation. What is information we already know? Accounts table has account names and account ID, likely needed. Opportunities table has opportunity names and account IDs, likely needed. Where are we most likely to find competitor data? And the answer is actually in activities within opportunities table. And I know this because I spent all my time in opportunities for reviewing them for product to see like how we can really like onboard these clients more quickly. But we don't have like a competitor feeling. No one's saying, hey, the customers aren't coming in and filling out a form and saying, these are all the people we're baking you off against. That would be cool, but definitely not something that happens. But they do sometimes mention it in their emails to us. So what's really cool about this is LLMs or Claude are extremely good at extracting specific phrases and reference points when given very explicit instructions. So activities within opportunities contain emails, tasks, etc. from the customer that might mention a competitor for C data, sync, and ETL, ELT tool. Now, there's one other thing that I don't want to forget, and that's that with our larger opportunities, they always have a solution engineer. Solution engineers have their own tables within Salesforce that are linked to the opportunity, that are linked to the account, and these solutions, notes, and tasks have very detailed information. So I don't want it to forget this.
So this is like vibe plus querying.
Yeah. But this is something I'm not as familiar with. So I'm actually going to leave this open-ended. Don't forget that large opportunities also have solutions engineers. I think there's a solutions engineering table that have things like notes, tasks, emails. We need to look for comments from these engineers mentioning competitors the customer may have revealed. All right. This is my prompt. Are we ready?
Let's do it. And the thing that I love about this while Claude is thinking is that a lot of your Salesforce data really relies on your reps to be just so on top of their data hygiene all day, every day. And that is challenging for any human, especially in sales. And so every organization in the world has a competitor field somewhere in their Salesforce CRM or whatever their CRM is that they want reps to fill out as they go through their deals. But the way that we have architected this, or the way that Jaclyn has architected this, is that it doesn't rely on just that field. It's actually going through emails, notes, and things where competitors were mentioned in conversation. And I love that because I think that's going to be way more accurate than just looking at the recorded field in Salesforce.
Okay, let's do a little update here. It's looking at the key tables we already gave it, which is great. It's checking for a solution engineer related table, and it found an SE request table. Now it's checking for activities and competitor related tables, which is great. And now it's checking for within competitor tables. Now it has a comprehensive view of tables needed for a true competitive analysis and elevation using your Salesforce data, which is really cool, right?
That's awesome. And as it runs, Jaclyn, so tell us how you would normally use this. Do you put this in instructions? You mentioned your Confluence, but do you put that back into the beginning of a prompt conversation?
You can. So what's really cool is within Claude, you have things like projects. So you can give it referenceable information. So you could create a bunch of projects like, this is my competitor analysis or competitor engagement project. Give it the information it already needs about all the tables and fields that would be really important in this analysis, and then just prompt it against that. And that's like pre-prepping a model for you to always be able to engage with the same way. What I have done in the past, or I have created a Confluence. So what I've done here is I've created like map the tables and the key fields for me. And then I say, this is what I'm doing. Here's where the data is. And I literally just copy and paste the map into the prompt. Because if I just need like a really quick, hey, I need you to go find all this, but don't go query Salesforce 16 times to find your fields. Here are your tables, here are your fields. And those are kind of the two major ways that like I engage with something like this. And it just gives you, it really decreases your time to value. It just makes you a more powerful prompter. And I love that because I get the answers I need more quickly. Claude hallucinates less, and it gives you just in general more accurate data because you have given it very specific guardrails. And the more guardrails or the more kind of guidelines you can give the LLM, you are going to produce more accurate data or output.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you, Jaclyn, for taking us through this mini episode. And we will share this prompt in blogs and the prompt library, which is coming soon after today's call. Happy vibe querying.
I think it probably cut off, but we might be able to snip something out of that.
That's all right.
Oh, no. Did it stop recording?
I think it does.
At the hour?
Yeah.
Rude.
Because it doesn't say recording anymore. I tried to warn you, but
right? I was like, go find me this stuff. So you never have to find it again, and you just copy and paste it, right? It's so convenient. Like this is like what the little Confluence looks like. It's like not hard, right? So
yeah,
I did like support case analysis. And so here's the mapping between like the account, the case, email messages, tasks, case history, comments, case feed, and then even customer success interactions, because we have so many CS touch points. And I can literally copy and paste this and say, here's where the data is. And I'll give it an account ID. I said, we really need to dig into Allstack. They're an escalated client right now. And I can go in and ask it any question. It knows exactly where it's going. So its queries are super quick and the output is really consistent.
That's so cool.
A ton of sense.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
Awesome.
Very smarter, not harder, right?
That's right.
Ooh, like it.